Alright, if you own XRP, XLM, HBAR, you need to see this. So the question is, why is the entire crypto market staring at Washington right now? Picture sitting in front of a high-speed train that is completely full of fuel, fully built, and ready to sprint down the track at 200 miles per hour. But it is standing completely still because a single traffic light is stuck on red. That is precisely where the entire digital asset space stands this July 2026. Now, if you hold XRP, XLM, or HBAR, you are sitting on tokens specifically built for enterprise speed, cross-border settlements, and real-world asset tokenization. Yet, despite all the technological milestones we have witnessed this year, these assets are waiting for a green light from Capitol Hill. A prominent analyst here shared on X, under the handle CryptoX AI-Man, a crucial update featuring comments from Kristen Smith. She is the president of the Solana Policy Institute and board member of the Blockchain Association. What she outlined wasn't just another routine policy update. It was a direct look into the exact structural bottleneck currently holding back institutional liquidity. So let's dive straight into what this means for our portfolio. So what did Kristen Smith reveals about the future of institutional crypto? Kristen Smith made it crystal clear what will happen the moment the Clarity Act passes through Congress. She stated, once we get this passed, we are going to see an unleashing of economic activity around the crypto space. She went on to explain that this single piece of legislation will trigger a massive upgrade to financial services infrastructure, drive traditional institutions to adopt digital asset technology on a global scale, slash transaction costs, and boost execution speeds across the board. When someone in her position speaks, market participants pay close attention. The Blockchain Association represents a massive coalition of heavyweights, including Ripple, the Stellar Development Foundation, Hedera HBAR, and major venture capital powerhouses like A16Z Crypto. Now, here's my opinion. Traditional financial institutions are not holding back because they doubt the technology of XRP, XLM, or HBAR. They are holding back strictly due to legal risk. Major banks and corporate treasuries operate under strict compliance mandates. They cannot deploy billions of dollars into public ledgers if the legal ground beneath them can shift overnight. The Clarity Act isn't just a regulatory framework. It acts as a legal green light that allows these institutional balance sheets to flow directly into public utility networks. Now, how could the Clarity Act reshape the valuation of enterprise tokens? Analyst CryptoX AI-Man emphasized here that passing the Clarity Act could ignite a broad-based multi-asset bull run across major tokens like XRP, XLM, HBAR, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. His core thesis rests on the adoption wave described by Kristen Smith. Once enterprises can build on public blockchain rails with absolute legal certainty, a real-world utility moves from experimental pilots straight into full commercial scale. Consider the underlying design of these networks. XRP is engineered as a bridge asset for high-speed liquidity. XLM is built to streamline global cross-border payments, and HBAR provides enterprise-grade consensus for real-world tokenized assets. So, my assessment of this market dynamic is that retail speculative volume can only push prices so high before it runs out of steam. for assets designed around utility through multi-year price expansion requires steady, predictable institutional usage. When financial institutions integrate XRP, XLM, or HBAR directly into their back-end payment systems, they create a continuous flow of operational demand. The shift changes everything, moving the market away from emotional, social media-driven cycles and anchoring it directly to real-world volume. Now, why is a political friction threatening to delay this massive adoption wave? Here is where we must face reality rather than blind optimism. Kristen Smith described this legislative drive as a legacy-making moment for the president, noting that the bill commands genuine bipartisan support. In fact, many lawmakers want to get it passed before the upcoming August recess. However, recent Crypto Hill reports reveal a major sticking point, and that's the congressional Democrats are raising serious concerns over key ethics provisions involving Donald Trump and his family's crypto endeavors. Analyst Crypto XAI Man pointed out a sobering metric that every investor must account for, and that's the data from prediction Polymarket shows only 40%. That's only 40% probability that the Clarity Act gets signed into law in the immediate time frame. Now, here's my opinion. While a 40% probability might look discouraging to a short-term day traders hoping for an instant pump tomorrow, the very fact that this bill has made it to the legislative calendar demonstrates how far the industry has come. The friction we are seeing right now isn't over whether crypto technology works. It is purely political maneuvering over non-industry ethics clauses. The technology is proven, the corporate demand is sitting on the sidelines, and politicians are simply bargaining over the final terms. And finally, here is our overall conclusion. The information shared by analyst Crypto XAI Man right here highlights the exact point where the digital asset utility meets real-world government regulation. Kristen Smith's insight from the Blockchain Association confirmed that the infrastructure for global enterprise adoption is completely built, tested, and ready to run. The only remaining barrier is legislative clarity. While short-term political negotiations in Washington create temporary friction and keep prediction market odds fluctuating around 40%, the long-term trend remains unmistakable. The largest financial institutions, software developers, and enterprise networks are actively positioning themselves for the passage of the Clarity Act. For holders of utility-focused assets like XRP, XLM, and HBAR, staying patient during these final policy hurdles is critical. The technology is ready, the institutional capital is waiting, and once the legal framework is locked in, the transition from speculation to real-world utility will unfold rapidly. And this finally ends our video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on the next one, or you might just as well check this next recommended video right here.